Hey, how's it going? Today I'll be making a traveler style notebook. I was heavily inspired by what I made for the passport. So I wanted to make a bigger version since it was quite difficult to do longer writing. And I found that this was quite limiting as I don't have much space to write. It's a very small notebook and I wanted the opportunity to use some of these, which I'm sure you're very interested in looking at. This is the Traveler's Notebook Grid. So that's number 2. I also have the blanks. So this will be more for my fountain pen writing. I will think that I'm going to do some more journaling in this one. So I have a bullet journal and it's perfect for this grid shape. I also have these pocket stickers. So I could put in the little pockets on the side of this leather. So just like these two. And then when I fold it, I'll have space to put cards or maybe even one of these journals. So we'll go through that. So those are these 3. Next is we have these connecting rubber bands. Now this will come in handy when we're adding our notebooks together. I have some dot grids. So this is another alternative to the grid style notebooks. So like this one. So debating on one of those two for my journaling, and of course watercolor paper. So when I'm on the go, I want to do some little sketches and do some watercolor on top of that. Oh, which reminds me, this video is a little chaotic. I have a little eyeglass cleaner. I'll fill this with water and spray it onto my new watercolors. So I have the Winsor & Newton watercolor travel kit. This has 12 watercolors that I could use and a little portable paintbrush. So, and it even folds up nicely. So I'll bring that on the go. I have my watercolor paper that goes alongside that, and this pencil holder. I could use this to hold the watercolor container to my notebook if I need to. So I'll try to demo that later, but just a quick look at how that might show up. So just like that in the notebook. That's the angle. All right. I have some tissue in here so I could blot out some of the water if I don't need them. So put on the side. Some sharpeners for my pencil if I decide to do some sketching. Eraser, of course. A watercolor brush. I have some microns. I've heard some good things about these Stadler ones. So I'll try these out and then maybe I'll switch to those. These are fine liners, which should let me write on the watercolor paper. I'll see if I could do an example. I have a jelly roll pen and just some cheap HB pencil. All right, so that's the watercolor kit. I'm gonna go switch over to, and washi tape. So I have all the gear with me. So similar to last time, I have an X-Acto knife to help me cut out the leather. I'm gonna try this tool, which is a circular cutter of some sort. I use it for fabric, so I'm not sure how that's gonna work on leather. A ruler, hammer, and scissors. I had a hard time picking a color last time, but I made the better decision this time to select it ahead of time. So I'm gonna go with the green for the white band, or this yellow band that I have on the outside. And for holding the notebooks together, I'm going to use again this orange, like a burnt orange. Okay, I have my good old nail, and with me I have a needle. So this will help me get some of these strings through. And I will again use the floss to help me guide the cord through. Okay, let's get started. Yes, so get yourself a piece of leather. So traveler notebooks are the size of these two together and a little bit more. You want to accommodate for the thickness of the notebooks. So let's get the measurement down. Right, so I just have a pen here. I'm going to mark out the general area I'm cutting. So I'm going to try using this. If this doesn't work, I'll cut it out. I'll almost cut myself there. Be careful if you do decide to use this. And how does it? Oh, okay, it cuts the leather super well. Okay, so this is too tall for our notebook, so we'll have to cut it again. All right, so too much space up top. Let's mark it out. It'll leave a little bit of space. I think that's enough. I think so, okay. So again, mark your leather or your canvas, whatever material you decide to use, and let's cut it. So we're using this again. This is what we have for the notebook. All right, let's get it out of their plastic wraps. Okay, so this is how I connected my previous notebook. I had one band, no bookmark, but all connected to this single strand here. I'm thinking that I will create a 2-band notebook, as well as a hole in the center so that we could have our elastic. So let's start with the center one because I think that one would be easiest. The notebook. Here's the center. Looking at this again, maybe don't mark your notebook in pen. That's gonna stay there. Oh, that's fine. This is fun. So about the center of the notebook. And let's punch a hole through there. Yeah, it doesn't need to be precise, so let's just punch a hole. And watch your fingers, because it'd be easy to hurt yourself like this. Okay, get the nail through. Right, hard to see the hole. Maybe it's easier to see on the back side. So that's just the center of the notebook. And if we want to create this, we could do that. Let's use green. Right, I'm not really measuring it out. It doesn't have to be so detailed. And let's tie a knot at the end. Okay, so if we want to thread this through, I suggest getting a big needle and some floss. You could use string if you want. Yeah, it might be a little hard to see what I'm doing. It's hard to tie knots. There you go. So I just tied a knot. I'm gonna pull this whole thing through just like that. And it's kind of through already, so I could just cut that. The floss, that is. There you go. See that? So the knot you made on this side will stay on the inside of the notebook, and then outside you'll have it like so. And I think that works good enough. Okay, so let's get the top and bottom holes in. Top and bottom. That'd be hard to see. There we go, top and bottom. So I'll do the same here, but since I want to put 2, I'm going to space it out. So I'll show you as I go. Right, so on the top there are 4 dots. So show up 1, 2, 3, 4. The bottom as well, there are 4. The camera would focus, but there's 4 dots there. I'm just gonna punch the holes and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so not the finest holes, but I'll show the camera. Here we go. So 4 at the top, 4 at the bottom, and this is what it looks like on the other side. It's harder to see on the suede side. Okay, so get your figure 8 in there. Cinnamon. There you go. Do your figure 8. So for this notebook, you want to have your cord. You want to have your cord 3 lengths of this, so that we could create a bookmark as well. You'll see what I mean. So we'll just get a bunch of cord. Let's get a bunch of cord out. Measure it twice the length of the notebook. So that's 1. A little bit more than 2. That's okay. So about 2. Let's get 3. Okay, and then we'll just cut right there. So we'll take our thread and our cord through the floss and just hold it, right? So it's not disconnecting. We have 4 holes at the top. We'll only consider one side of the notebook. Inside of the notebook, going through the topmost hole, on whichever side you decide to choose first. So let's go here. Okay, so this is your right side. Pulling all this through, and now you can let go of the hold you had on that double. So this is still together, the floss and the cord. This is not pulled all the way through. Like this is still hanging on from the inside. Pull it so that it's just the same length as your notebook. You still have these two together, your cord and your floss. Now from the outside of the notebook, we're going to pull the needle through the hole right below the one you just made. So right there, pull that through. Okay. Now from the back, the thread was on this one. It's hard to hold this. Okay, so this is our bookmark, this top one, right? This one at the bottom, this one we could pull all the way through so that there's no more slack on the back. I'm gonna take my floss, put this through the floss, the cord from the second hole from the top, if you can see that, is going to go through second from the bottom. So in this case right here. Right. And I'm just going to pull that through. Okay. There you go. Now you have a band going from the second from the top to the second from the bottom. And from the outside, we want to get this going in back there. So thread, so cord going back into the floss. Okay, this goes back into the top, pull through, okay, make sure your bookmark is still a good length. So in my case, this is the bookmark. Yeah, I mean, you could do either side as a bookmark, but let's do this one. This is a good length, covers the whole notebook. And now we could tie this back to the top. Okay, I'm not sure what I did with the knots. Yeah, it just somehow kind of worked. So there's a bit of a curve to it, and that kind of helps the notebook stay in place together. I just do whatever knot works for you. And this is the notebook. These are 4 inserts in here. I'll do a closer view. All right. These are 4 inserts in our homemade traveler's notebook. Just like that. You can throw in a charm on this if you'd like. I might be cutting these 2 short hairs, or I might just leave it, tuck it in somewhere. All right, let's open it up. So the front, this is the middle section. So this will lay flat as you're writing, which is perfect for me. I hate it when it doesn't lay flat, nice and flat. So I got the grid as my first insert, followed by blank pages. Then our dot grid. It's hard to see the dots. I don't know if you did that. Too dark, but you can't see the dots. And then the last one is our watercolor. Whoa. Right, I hope you like this video. This is a really simple tutorial. Some parts of it you're going to have to fiddle with, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. Bye for now.